Right, hey everyone, I'm Klloo. So, I'm actually going to be away for the next couple days. So, we're gonna have to milk it, right? The majority of my cases haven't shown up, right? One has, so I'm going to do one box at a time for each day, right? For 4 days. And that way, I can remain on track in terms of, recouping videos once I get back. And then, hopefully, all the actual high seas stuff that we really want to, discuss and talk about. Hopefully, the collector's page is out and we can go through it. But, before we dive into this box, right? Pulls so far, if you're curious. So I've done 2 cases so far. Ireland, Chowder, Limpet, Murderous Rabble, and I think there was, Sunken Treasure were our 2 big pirate treasure cards, right? EA, King Kraken Harpoons, that's quite the nice one. I got 2 Sea Lace Sarongs and 2 Dread Threads, right? So they're at the back here. Oh, and a Poly. Somewhat scuffed Poly, right? He's got that little unfortunate white dot on the edge there. But other than that, right, some really, really decent pulls. Unicycle is actually, to me, one of the better Cold Foil commons, right? Rust Belt, not so much. A lot of gold, and no Gold Kiss Realm, Golden Cog, and then, Cogworks Tinkering. So I've actually hit all the owls. I don't need any more owls. But, I'm sure 1 or 2 will show up. And then Majestic-wise, actually missing quite a bit, right? But at the same time, I don't think I've gone playsets of much either, right? There's been cards that I've just completely whiffed on and haven't seen. So, yeah, I will try and keep track of that. But alas, right? Let's crack into this box. We'll treat it like it's the first, right? And hopefully slow down a little bit, go through some cards nicely. The gold pack, I will probably always do at the end. So if that's all you're interested in, feel free to just skip ahead. But other than that, right? Let's see what we can find. So gold pack over there, and we'll grab out all the booster packs. And we'll see if we can do this in a timely fashion too, because I'd like to get through these all. I'm sort of running behind as per usual, right, with travel plans. Oh, but I wanted to, get this out there so you guys have something to watch and not just blank for 4 days, because I don't have a backlog much anymore since I'm waiting for all the high seas cards to come out to actually play games. So nothing in the first pack. We're mainly just looking for Majestics at this point, right? There are some rares, like Murderous Rabble, that seem to be a little bit harder to find than other cards, and I don't know. Sunken Treasure for a first Majestic. The thought that comes to mind looking at... That's a very beautiful foil. I think I've said this a few times, but the foiling in this is just fantastic, right? So it's a lot more apparent, so it's blanketed, but at the same time, it's still, in a sense, equivalent to the cold foils, right? In the tasteful element, so depending on how the light hits, it's different aspects that are actually shined, like that. Beautiful. But yeah, so when it comes to the cards that are short printed, the common trend that I've noticed from them all being listed is they are majority pirate cards, right? Now, we've talked about Majestics and the somewhat need for some tweakings to the rates, but what seems to be a little bit apparent in this set, potentially, and we won't know until the collector's page is actually out, is what if Pirate is short printed, right, in a sense, as opposed to, again, the normal class cards or the generics, right? So that's one way to potentially handle getting the right amount of Majestics out for the population, because obviously everyone needs a generic. Ooh, sorry, catching my throat. Everyone needs a generic. A lot of people need the class cards, and then less people need the actual specific one. So even though Pirate itself is a class, obviously there's only 1 Pirate Ranger, as opposed to 3 Rangers in total. So yeah, that's a little bit of a thought, right? It's definitely reading into things probably a bit more than necessary, but it is something that could be the go, right? So I can't remember what cards exactly were on the list being floated around, but I did notice it was like the normal mech cards were fine, and then the pirate mech cards, like Jolly Bludger, were less, significantly less, right? So that, again, we'd like to just see an increase in the Majestic rate. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just a subtle increase. But this would be another way to handle it in that aspect, right? And then same goes for... Ooh, beautiful. Marvel. The only problem with opening is Train of Thought gets derailed so easily, right? And in the light too. Beautiful. So I'm not actually collecting the allies. There's way too many. But yeah, so if pirate cards across the board were short printed, because obviously there's like pirate heroes overall, wouldn't that make a little bit of sense? And, if the trend going forward might not be the worst thing, right? Again, it would stop cards like Shelter going nuts. There would be definitely misses every now and then. For instance, if the Conqueror of the High Seas is actually short printed, that's a bit of a problem. But it feels like it's specifically the talent right? So pirate, well, I shouldn't say talent, the dual class cards. So pirate ranger, pirate mech, not pirate necro because he is the only necro, right? But yeah, food for thought, so to speak. So far this has been a decent box, right? One Marvel, two Majestics. Actually, we're a little light on the Majestics, but you know, a Ramberfall Jolly is decent. Conqueror of the High Seas. That's my second, and a Preach Modesty. So that's beautiful. I think I have the set of Preach Modesty though, but I definitely still need one more Conqueror of the High Seas and a Skurv hiding in there. Skurv definitely feels like he's won a box. Won a case, right? Wish I think he should be a little bit more because he was definitely a blast for sealed. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna give him a go for Blitz, right? So very curious to see how he lands and what type of deck he ends up working with because there is a lot of cards. The Nimblism package probably is really meant for him. Return Fire also my first one of, right? But what we want to see new cards, so to speak, right? Not that we don't already know the entire list. So yeah, as long as I'm not hitting super amounts of duplicates, right? Because that's, again, I open to collect, I always have. So my general idea is I buy enough boxes to open the majority of Majestic. And so far it's panned out, right? But we'll have to see. Again, with the mishmash of numbers. Adult heroes as well. So for reference, they are basic, but they're not anything spectacular, right? And this thought of it competing with the expansion slot, technically it still does because it can be in that back slot. So yeah, they're basic by rarity, but the actual rates of adult heroes hasn't changed, it appears. So yeah, keep that in mind. Nada. I think we're actually about one more Majestic due, and then we're good, right? So one more, please. Another Return Fire would be nice. Rusty Harpoon. I'd love this if it wasn't in the gem pack, right? With the nice, sleek, no text EA, right? But it's still a nice blue Harpoon to add to the mix, right? For Big Marlin. And I will get around to after Death Dealer Marlin. I'm pretty sure Azalea goes fairly quickly, right? There's tons of good Ranger goodies in here for her to pick up the pace. Plus, obviously, the Living Legend multiplier as well is at work for Azalea. So Death Dealer can't stick around for too long, unfortunately. Hopefully, though, again, a game hero there with it. Sticky Fingers and a Nimby. Ooh. Hopefully one more Majestic. Another EA would be beautiful. I forget which cards actually come in EA and... God. The Necro one isn't EA, it's Micro? Is that the correct phrasing? Right? To me, they're both, extended art, because the art extended. Just whether or not the tech box is safe. But either way, they're always nice to pull. Nada. Another sticky. No expansion. I haven't seen a single copy of the Guardian one. I know that for reference because I'm gearing up for Guardian, the actual the Mastery pack, right? So yeah, hopefully we see 3 of them, right? That would be ideal, but if not, oh well. All right, last few again. Do one more Majestic, and who's lurking in our treasure pack? Could be something glorious, or something average. Probably something average. All right. Monkey Powder, Jittery Bones, and no expansion slots. Come on. Don't need the legendary. Just, there we go. Cogworks up there. I'll take it. Right? Majestic. And I doubt there's one left in this pack. But you never know. Well, we do know since, it's not a blank card. It's not a backed card or an expansion slot card. But, nope. No shiny either. So, one Marvel. Scooby. Beautiful. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on rate and 1 foil, right? So yeah, anywhere from about 6 to 9 is a good day. So hitting 7 is nice. Hitting cards that again I still need, beautiful. I think I still need Sunken Treasures too. I think the Burns Bear and the Preach Modesty, though I don't, right? I think that's my 3rd Cogworks Dovetail. Either way, they go to the Majestic pile. And Scooby, I should probably sleeve straight away. Keep misplacing my sleeves. I have so many packets of sleeves around me too, but I just... My room is a mess. I already have so much fab to sort, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's our 3rd Marvel ally. Beautiful. Tuck away there. And of course, the big one. What is in our gold pack, right? We don't risk damaging, so we cut. And don't cut far enough, apparently. Right, we can snip it. Beautiful. treasure piece. And none of the marbles are double-sided in this, so you'll never know. Oh, beautiful. Gold Kiss Rum. So I don't have to worry about finding that. And then, probably a gold foil. Oh, the second Rust Bell. That's disappointing, considering I think this is horrible. I'm just thinking if there's a way around them doing this where it actually was semi-decent. Because I think they could have, similar to the unicycle, right, gone away with a chess piece that was actually a bit more functional, right? If it was destroy a cog, gain a resource, instead of the tap mechanic, maybe. It couldn't be instant, then it'd have to be an action, potentially. Still, it's battle worn. It's just, again, if it was a bit more open-ended in the resource generation, had charges like the Bloodspite Vest, pretty good. Even if it was, 2 charges. But, it's still definitely a nice card, right? With the new cog mechanic, since, we're not taking as much boost. Klloo Foundry. It's a bit rougher, but the Gold Kiss Rum is definitely a very, very beautiful card, especially if we're going to run with Scurvy. And, actually, taking Cheyenne with Sea Legs. So hopefully we hit it, and hopefully I can pop out a Gold Kiss Rum Rainbow Foil. I'm curious to see where they show up as cold foil, right? The Cogs, the Harpoons, the Rum. No, not the Harpoon. The Harpoon is Marvel. What's the third one? The Cogs, Rum, and Gold, right? Yeah. Either way, one box down. Hope you enjoyed. See you for the next one, hopefully.